All right, here's your lesson on pyramids. A pyramid has one base, and it comes up to a point. That means the sides are always triangles. So the sides of the pyramid are always, but the bottom could be different shapes. That's one base down there. To find the surface area, find the area of the base. That's 8 by 8. That's a square. And then you add the triangle. So that's half the base times the height. And in this case, every triangle is the same shape because it has the same base and height all the way around. So we multiply that answer times 4 and then use your calculator. So that's 64, see if I can do it right, times 8 times 11.7 times 4. And you get 251.2. And again, it's area, so it's going to be meters squared. All right, this is, again, a pyramid. Not all pyramids have a square base, but these two do. And to find it, the area of the base, which is 5 times 5, or 5 squared, plus the triangles. So I have 4 triangles, and each triangle is half the base times the height, and then put that in your calculator. And I get 99 inches squared. See if I type that in right. Number 3, again a square base. And then the triangles, there's 4 of them, and it's half the base times the height. Now, this height is the height of the pyramid right here. What we want is the other height. It makes a right triangle. So this is 3. This here is 8 because it's halfway there. And then I need to find this will be the actual height of that. Or we can use this too, right? Well, let's use this formula then. So it's 1/2 the lateral height, which is the slanted height, and the perimeter did that. Well, I'm doing the same thing, whatever. So I need to find the lateral height there. It makes a right triangle. It ends up being the hypotenuse. So I need to go 8 squared plus 3 squared equals that slanted height squared of what I'm looking for. So put that in your calculator. And then the last step is to square root it. So that is the height I'm looking for, the square root of 73. That's 8.5. And then the formula, so you have the base, and then we have 4 triangles, and each one is half the base, which is 16, times the height, which is 8.5. That's the exact same formula as this. 4 times 16 is the perimeter. I get it. Here we go. So 16 squared plus 4 times 1/2 times 16 times 8.5. I get 528 feet squared for the surface area. All right. Fun diagram. Okay, so here the base is a triangle, the base. So to find the area of the base, half the base times the straight up height of the base, which is 8.7. This is an equilateral triangle, so all the side triangles are the same shape. So I'm going to add, there's 4 of them, and then half the base, which is 10, times the slanted height for it, which is 6.7, and then put that in your calculator. And that's 177.5. All right, again, we have a triangle for the base. So that's 7, and the height for the bottom triangle is 6.1. Plus we have 4. Dang it. We don't have 4. We have 3, right? 3 around the side. So let me recalculate the one I did before and change it to a 3 instead of a 4. So it should have been 144. I'm sorry. This one, again, should be a 3 because there's 3 triangles on the side for the triangle. And then half the base of those side, which is 7. And then the slant height for the side triangles is 12.2. I think it's right, 149.45, and that's centimeters squared. We're not going to do number 6, just in case you don't know. That's a hexagonal base. We're not doing it. All right. Next shape. Cone has its own formula. Now, cone, of course, means the base is a circle. So we're going to find the base of the circle. So the area of that is pi r squared, plus we're going to go pi r. We know it's radius. We're going to follow this formula. And the slant height of the cone, which is 11.4. And that's it. And then put that in the calculator. So I'm going to go pi 7 squared plus pi 7 times 11.4. I get 404.6, and that's meters squared. All right, we got a cone here on the side. So the radius is going to be 27 divided by 2. I need that number. And then the formula. So we have the circle on the bottom. That's pi r squared. Plus, we have the formula pi r and the slant height, which is 32.9. And then put that in the calculator. That's 1,967.8, and that's millimeters squared for the area. All right, we have a cone. We don't know the radius. So to find this radius, I'm going to have to solve it using the Pythagorean theorem. So that's x squared plus 25.2 squared equals, this is the hypotenuse, 27.3 squared, and then I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to go 27.3 squared, subtract 25.2 squared, and then the answer I get, I'm going to square root it. So the answer I get is 110.25, and I'm going to square root it. So if I solve it, the radius is 10.5. That's what I need. Now I can use the formula. So it's pi r squared plus pi r and the slanted height, which is 27.3. Put that in your calculator. And I get 1,246.9, and that would be inches squared. All right. Some stories. If a cone has a surface area of this, so we're going to write the formula down, which is pi r squared plus pi rl, the slanted height. So the surface area is 822.78, and it says the diameter is 18. So if I go 18 divided by 2, the radius now is 9, and I'm sure it asks for the slant height, right? So the slant height is the last part that we're going to use. So we're going to take this number and subtract 81 pi. So we can go 822.78, subtract 9 squared is 81, so subtract 81 pi. And then to that answer, I'm going to, let me write it down, 568.3. We're going to divide 9 pi to that answer. So take that answer and divide 9 pi. And the slant height you get is 198.4. Doesn't feel right. Let's try it again. So 568.3 divided by 9 pi. Let's see if I typed it in wrong. I did type it wrong. So the answer is 20.1. It just didn't feel right. All right, let's try it again. Find the surface area of this figure, which is a composite figure, right? So we have a cone and a cylinder. So the cone on top, the radius is half of 34. So both of it is 17. So for the cone, it's pi r squared plus pi r in the slant height, which is 20. The cylinder is pi r squared times the height, which is 12. No, sorry. Try it again. Oh, sorry. We only have one base. It's down here. That isn't a base. It's just here. So pi r squared. Great. Then we need to take the circumference 2 pi r times the height, which is 12. All right. And you get 2,943.7, and that's meters squared. No, meters, just for the slant height. Oh, sorry, meters squared, because you're finding the area of it. Good. All right, last one here. The roof on a shed is a square base pyramid if the base has a side length of 10. So the base is 10 squared, because it's a square. And then there are 4 triangles, and half the base times the slant height, which is 9.4. Find the area of that roof. So we actually don't need the base for the area of the roof. We just need this part for the area of the roof. What's called the lateral area. Let's do that. I get the answer 188 meters squared. Done! All right. Mr. G Math over and out. Until next time.